どうも皆さんこんにちは、あゆぽんです。今日はですね、今月のっていうか4月のPS プラスに加入している人の特典でフリープレイってあるんですけど、それにフィンチ家の奇妙な屋敷で起きたことっていうゲームがあって、いやこれもう去年の冬ぐらい、年末のセールやってる時ぐらいからずっと私のおすすめゲームみたいなの出てきてて気になってたんですよね。でずっと気になってたけどどうかなと思ってずっとやってなかったのは、今月のフリープレイに来たのでちょっとねワクワクしながらやってみたいと思います。いやどんなゲームなのかもねいまいちね情報がなくて、動画とか探したけどほとんどやってる人いないんですよね。今月フリープレイに来てるから増えてるかもしれないですけど、はい、ちょっとやっていきたいと思います。でこれどういうゲームなのかっていうのがよくわかんないんで説明文みたいなの読むんですけど、ワシントン州のとある一族に関する奇妙な物語集。プレイヤーは一族の血を引くエディスという主人公になって、フィンチ家の風変わりな屋敷を舞台に家族の奇跡をたどりながら、なぜ彼女が最後の一人の生存者なのか謎を解こうとしますっていうゲームらしいです。主人公のエディスっていう女の子になって女の人になってとりあえずゲームを進めてフィンチ家で何か起きているだろうことを謎解きみたいなのしていくのかな。はーい、じゃあやっていきますね。あそこにフィンチ家の奇妙な屋敷で起きたことって動いてんだよね文字が。でとりあえず船の上に私はいるみたいです。どうやらこんな感じで乗ってますね。で持ってるエディス・フィンチって書いてある。どうやって遊ぶのか操作法がわからないんだがこれ。こうやったら開ける。ちょっと待って開きたいよ。どうやんの。こう。英語なんだ。始まった。とりあえず前に進むしかないって感じ。でもボタン操作がどうなのかっていうのがわかんないんだけど。はいはいはい。11歳の時まで住んでたんだね。何これ。ポストできるこれ。どうやんの。こうで
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago.
難しい。
Open immediately.
重要支給開封。でどうすんのこれ。取れないのちょっとまあいいや、行っちゃおう。
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
ルイス兄さんの葬式以来。すごいね。きれい。山の中に。
In her will, my mother left me a key but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
一緒にお母さんは鍵を残してくれた。
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
なるほどね。こんな感じなんだ。小説読むみたいな感じだ。とりあえず山の中をひたすら。
No one had driven this way in a long time. but I saw a few hoof prints.
誰も来てない。あれかな、フィンチ家は誰も住んでないお屋敷なのかな。あ、鹿いたけど、いける？あ、いけない。
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
あ、これ
The
だ。
house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
あー、すごい外国のお城みたいな感じ。
I asked Edie once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband.
ドラゴン、あれがドラゴン面白いな。変わったゲーム。とりあえずお屋敷に行けばいいの。
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
落ち着かなくさせた。なんかもう荒れてますね。
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
今17歳なんだね、実は。とりあえずお屋敷に入っちゃっていいのかな。鍵。
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
あ、開かないの。え、
Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
どうしよう。鍵が開かないからどっかの鍵合うとこ探さなきゃいけない。ガレージ？ガレージでも鍵なさそう。なになになに。あ、ここか。勝手口みたいな。なにこれ。なんかある。穴がある。
The house felt like it had always been here. Even the swing set was older than my mother.
なになんか今英語で喋ったけどわからんかって字幕。これじゃない？あ、
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
鍵開けるんじゃなくてドアくぐる的な。鍵は電気つ
The
けよ
power
う。
had been turned off the night we left.
つけらんないか。そうだよね。何したらいいんだろうか。なんかある？なんもない。なんかある？なんもない。なんもないよね。
For the first time in years,
久しぶりに。
I felt like I was home.
すごい。そのまま残って
But
る。
instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
なんかすごい数のお皿と本。すごいね。これさ、あれじゃない？出前 出前のやつじゃない？外国の。
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
ああ、これ中華料理の出前なんだ。なんかよくありますよね、映画で。アメリカとかの映画でこう牛乳パックみたいなのに入ったなんかチャーハンとか食べてるのありますよね。何これ。エディス、エディ、ルイス、ダウン。なんて読むの？これは触れない。とりあえずあっち行ってみよう。
Or how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
缶詰。大量
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it. Like a smile with too many teeth.
歯が多すぎる絵か。わかんないな、意味が。なんかある。
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
ミルトンは行方不明。お兄ちゃん。
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
あの夜の混乱の中、たくさんのものが取り残された。いや、何この頑丈なこのドア。
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
書庫。何？なんかめっちゃ頑丈じゃない？本がすごい。あと何があるかな。ちょっととりあえず1階を散策しよう。あ、これ回せってことね。はいはい。
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
家族の写真。鍵。
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
鍵ここじゃない。なんかあるかな。
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
へえ。いいね、暖炉。そんで
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
去った夜のまま。
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture. My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
不思議だね。とりあえず上行こう。わあ、すごいお家。外国って感じ。
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
モディ。
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
モディは一体誰なんだ？赤ちゃん？子供部屋っぽい。
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
鍵？あ、開いた。
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
20,000 leagues under the sea. 海底2万マイル。え、どうするんだろう。あー
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid
あ
of.
ー、開いた。え、なにえ、なにこれ。隠し部屋。何？子供の落書き。
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
ミルトン。ミルトンって書いてある。本当だ。
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan.
なんだ。
But I had no idea what was behind that door.
よいしょ。あー、すごい。
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
ここ何？隠し部屋の中にさらに隠し部屋がある。
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole.
これはモリーの部屋なんだ。
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
で
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
かわいい。お姫様のベッドある。子供部屋だろうね、多分。このちっちゃさからして。人手？何これ。なんかでもちょっとおどろしいものがなんか乗ってるんだが。あ、なんかある。森フィンチ。
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
お腹がペコペコ。
My Halloween candy was all gone.
で
The
ネズ
gerbil
ミの
food is
餌。
dry, but I didn't mind it.
いやダメだよ。ネズミのご飯食べちゃう。あ、トイレか。
I ate a lot of things that night.
何食べてんの？ダメだよ。
I kept eating and eating.
あらららららら。あららららららら。あららら。全部食べちゃう。
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
窓の外で鳥の声がした。魚だね。
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
あ、鍵してある。
And suddenly,
え？
I was a cat.
なるほどね。猫になっちゃったよ。 どうしよう。
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
そうやね。とりあえず追いかけたらいいのかな。どっか行っちゃったね。あそこだね。よいしょ。
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
で、いけないんだが。よっ、鳥さん。よっ。いけないよ、これ。どうすんの？にゃほー。鳥さん。よいしょ。待
I
って。
jumped and I almost got her.
こっちだ。ちょっと無理じゃない？どうすんのこれ。それ。
I could tell she was getting really tired.
まあそうだろうね。あ、行っちゃう。
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
よいしょ。よっ。よっ。登れないよ、これ。よっ。よいしょ。待
I
って。
gobbled her up,
ああ、食べちゃった。
and suddenly I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
今度はフクロウになっちゃった。
Rabbits.
ラビッツ。ああ、ウサギ。ああ、いるね。どうすんのどうすんのどうすんの。あ、無理無理。あ、逃げられた。ちょっと取りました。ごめん。
His face looking up and so
ああ
I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit.
ごめんね。
Then I flew off to find something bigger.
なんてこった。なんてこった。
A mama rabbit.
どこどこどこ。あ、いたいたいたいたいたいたいたいた。よっ。取ったよ。
She was almost too big to carry. I
あ
started
あ
choking, but I couldn't stop.
ああ。なんてこった。
And suddenly, I was a shark.
ちょっと待って。サメは陸に上がっちゃダメじゃない？どうすんのこれ。どうやって移動するのこれ。無理じゃない？ああ、ちょっと落ちた。ああ、痛い
I
痛い痛い
rolled
痛い。
off a cliff and into the ocean.
あらら。
Now, I was hungrier than ever.
どうしたらいいの？ あれを食べろってこと？
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
もっと太って美味しい足利いいよ。ちょっと難しい。難しいよ、これ追いかけるの。ああ、まあなんてこった。ああ、かわいそう。ああ。
When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
今度は何？何これ何これ、今度は何？怖いよ。今度何？
Now I was a monster and I smelled people.
怪物？気持ち悪いんだけど。
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
人間がいた。ああ。食べた？食べたん？嘘でしょ？食べたんですか？マジですか？もうやめた方がいいと思うよ、これは。誰かいるけど。おじいさんいるけど、おじいさん。ああ、食べちゃった。食べちゃった。もう一人いるな。外出た方がいい。うわー、気持ち悪い。
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I saw something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
パイプの中に消えていた。なんなのこれ。私一体何になっちゃったんですかこれ。あ、トイレ。トイレじゃないか。
I got closer and closer. All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time. couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to be, and we both know I will be delicious.
怖い。っていうモリーのお話。
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
あった。
I
で、
got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
モリーは
I
そういう
can't
話。
describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
ちょっと変わった子だったのかな、モリーは。どうやらね。で、出ることは不可能。こっちから出なきゃいけない。これどうすればよろしいか、これ。出れないんだが。あ、外に。
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
モリー。あ、こっから入るのね。はい。はい、邪魔します。
I spent a lot of time in Great Grandma Edie's room.
イージーさんはひいおばあちゃん？
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
へえ、優しいね。
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
で、
Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
何これ、どうすんの？どうすんのこれ。わかんないんだけど。これなんかするんじゃないのこれ。わかんない。これなんか、どうなんの？ピンチ。リールニュース。なんか、これで終わり？これで終わり？これで終わりってことはないと思うんだが。これで終わりだったのかな。お風呂。
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
ピンク
It
色
was
だ。
a pretty big trace.
本当だ。真っピンクだね。でも何にもないけどな。鍵。あ、開いた。
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
おー、すごい。 こんなところにも隠し扉が。
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
これ何？写真？写真がある。ここはサムの部屋。
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin.
サムおじいちゃん。双子の兄弟がいたんだ。
And that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Calvin.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
あ、こうやったら
At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
何が？
I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Oh.
I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up.
うわうわ
Maybe he'd still
飛ん
be
じゃう
here.
飛んじゃう。
But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
どうなんの？危ない！危ない！回った！ちょっと待って。
That's the day he made up his mind.
あー、飛んだよ。あ、そういう話。飛んじゃったんだ。あらら。
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
そんなことある？そっか、カルビンは。
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
ああ、そういうことか。てかさっきのイーディの部屋のなんかも見れたのかな。ちょっと戻ろう。さっきなんかあった覗けるやつ見れないのかな。見れないのか。あそこに行きたいんだけど、戻りたいんだけど、あ、戻れた。さっきのさ。
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
さっきのあれなかったっけ？これが気になるんだよね。
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island.
イーディとその夫スベン、そして赤ちゃんのモリー。
Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
あ、そうなんだ。
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
地形の屋敷を夢見ていた。以上？なるほどね。分かった。
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
あ、そっか、この一族のこのなんか系譜みたいなのを完成させるのが目的なんだね、きっと。んで、また元に戻って。そしてで次はどこかな。何あー、かわいい。あー、すごい。こう。あー、隠しレバー発見。開いた？うわー、すごい。なんかこんなのばっかり。他ないよね。他はなかったよね。他にはもうないよね。へえ、すごいな。いや、面白いな、これ。変わったゲ
The
ーム。
passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
ここはこれ。これ。バーバラ。
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
バーバラの部屋の隣。
Edie's father Odin built the original house. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
かわいいね。ここ来たっけな。
My grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother,
これ見た。
Calvin.
あ、外側にいるからか。ここなんだ。
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
どっから行こうかな。一回ここ戻りたい。戻りたい気持ちがある。そうね。戻りたい。ここはバーバラの部屋。
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
バーバラの部屋。 すごい。ビッグフットっていう映画に出たとかそういうこと？
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
ハッピーバースデーバーバラ。タバコ吸ってる？タバコ吸ってない？バーバラ子役だけど、なんかあれだ。なんかある。
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box.
何怖いんだけど。
And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
なんか行かない方がいいんじゃない？ねえねえ。これ行かない方がいいんじゃない？これ危ないんじゃない？
She
これ。
found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
え？何もう怖いんだけど。
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
は？は？は？何が？でも分からんけど怖いんだが。どこにいんの？あ、近く。ああ、ちょっと待ってよ。どうすんのこれ。あらまあ。ああ。
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
ああ、そういう
Well,
こと
I'm
か。
not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep
Gosh.
watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah!
どうしたん？
Hey, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
どうしたん？もう今度何？ウォルターはどこ？上？あ、ちょ、なんか落ちてきた。なんで？どこにいるの？
Walter, are you there?
ん？あ、ここ？
Walter vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing.
それ本物？
And was, he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
怖っ。
Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
どうしよう。ここ？
That night, she played her part beautifully.
ここ誰の部屋だっけ？あ、ここあれだ。モリーの部屋。
She thought about abandoning Walter, but just
どうしよう。
couldn't do it.
これどうしよう。出れないんだけど。どうしたらいいの？
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges grow.
ケイ。
But she
やっつけ
sensed
た。
the story might not be over yet.
どうしたらいいんだよ。とどめを刺しに行けばいい？どうしよう。あれ、いないよ。
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his
本
breathing,
当や。
but all she heard was
ピンポン。何？
someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
じゃあ後ろ。
Oh dear.
Nani?
They'd come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box was all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Yeah.
That's what I call a real eerie tale.
謎だね。
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
そっか。でどうやって来たんだっけここ。どうやって来たんだっけ忘れちゃった。どっちから来たんだったっけ。ここから来たんだよね。違ったちょっと待ってここか。ここだ。こっちだ。
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
なるほどね。ここさっき見たよね。
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
ここも見たよね。ここも見た。地下室で見る。下は見たんだっけ。上がいいのかな。ここは行ったからここ見たよね。
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Eddie.
I wonder if that comic was right about there being a key inside the music box near the basement. Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
開かないね。開かないね。どうしようかな。開かないんだが。これさっき見たよね。でも見た。見たよね。次どこ行ったらいいの。3階は行けないし。
Maybe I should go check out that music box down by the basement.
オルゴールね。はい。 どこだったっけ。あ、これか。あ、取れた取れた。よしよしよしよし。これだ。よし、行ってみよう。例のバーバラ事件があった例の地下室。なんかあるかな。なんもないけどね、パッと見。ないかな。
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
怖い。注射やめて。
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
どっちだった？こっちは行き止まり。
I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
これは隠し扉ですね。真っ暗。暗い暗い。
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
ウォルター。あ、ウォルターってこのおじいちゃんのこと？これなんだ？絵か。
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
30年もこんなところにいた。
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of a door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can. I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly
モディも
and Calvin.
カルビンも
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week.
ハリウッド映画のヒーローみたい
I'd
な
be
こと言う
happy
の
with one new day.
まあね
I can already imagine the sun on my face.
どうなったの
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
よくわかんなかったけど、まあ
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
ウォルターはこの中で死んじゃったってこと
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
なるほど。この下か。
Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
ウルタ。
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of. Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
うちなんかあるかな。なんもないや。 ベンチがあるね。暗くて見えないけど。
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
確かに言えてる。こっちに行くのかな。
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
これはお墓？
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
これがみんなのお墓なんだ。モディ。モディは10歳。カルビンは11歳。スベン誰だったっけ？お父さんか。ウォルターはおじいさん？
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
なんだろう。見えないんだけど。見たいけど見えない。どうやったら見えるこれ。どうやったら見えるこれ。見えないよこれ。他にでも行くところないしな。あ、こういうことか。
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
はいはいはいはい。古い家の夢を見る。あそこへ行かなきゃいけないみたいな、そういうこと？
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
グレゴリー、ガス。
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
この人のママは誰だったっけ？わかんなくなっちゃう。
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
あ、そうなの。あらららら、危ないよ。危ない危ない危ない、マジで。落ちちゃう落ちちゃう。危ないよ。何やってんの
？I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
サムおじいちゃん。
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
何すんの？あ、取った。
Shouldn't we be leaving?
Just want to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can take off.
え？
What?
あ、この人取れてる？
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
何を取ろうか。あ、鳥かな。あれか。
Aw.
なんかちょっと写真撮るってなったらあれみたい。ライフイズストレンジみたい。
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hold still while I take a picture.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
ごめんね。失礼しました。
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa's fen taught us. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph?
他に面白い被写体
We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere.
鹿がいるの
I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time.
どれどれ
Give me a minute to check the map.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don.
あそこにもいる
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Don!
泣いてるよ
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay? Sorry, Don. Just gotta reset the timer.
よいしょよいしょよいしょ間に合わん間に合わんこれ
Hang on, kiddo. Just trying to get a shot of the two of us together.
二人一緒のとこ取れてるよよいしょ行こう
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about.
Dad!
ああ落ちたそういう話
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
ああなるほどね
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
次が
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
飛んでる飛んでるあ、 カエルね。はいはいはい。
Watching's over, Gregory. It's time to. Hold on, sweetie.
あー、グレゴリーは今お風呂に入ってんだね。
Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
ぴょーん。
I wonder what he saw.
なんか何したらいいんだろうか。あ、これを壊せばいい的なこと？
What his world
そういう
was
こ
like.
と？えい難しい。えいそれ。
He reminded me so much of Calvin.
おー、あーすごい。
Lost in his imagination.
なんじゃこりゃ。何したら OK なの？えなんか謎すぎ。なんかちょっとカエルが暴れてるだけのなんか絵になってるんですけど、これ正解なのかな。よいしょよっ。なんか書いてあるんだけど読めない。よいしょめっちゃ泳いでるけど、あ、おお、すごい。飛んだ。バカらしく聞こえるだろうね。何が？赤ちゃんが幸せすぎるって心配するの。ああ。
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
何？
Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
ぽよよよよ。ぽよよよよ。ぽよよよよ。ぽよよよよよよ。
I wish you could have told us.
あ、しまった。水を出してしまった。ちょっと待って。あ、しまった。バカ。何やってんだ。ほら。あ、やばっ。あー、やっちゃった。あー、やっちゃったよね。今やっちゃったよね。私がやっちゃったよね、これ。あららららららら、死ぬ。ちょっと待って。どうしたらいい？君のせいでこう。いや、君のせいだよね。私のせいだよね。やばい。あー、やっちゃったよー。いや、ちょっとすまなかったすまなかったグレゴリー。ちょっと私がカエルぴょんぴょん遊んだせいであんなことになってしまった。いやなんでなんで、次はどこ こへ行けばいいの。
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
ガス。
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
Gus, どうしたん?
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met me, we don't need a stepmom were the words that I
now
remembered.
pronounce you husband and wife.
そういうことか。
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Na るほどね。
The wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Ah, 星が綺麗。星綺麗。で、次はどこに行くのかな。帰ってきちゃったけど。なんもないよね。そ
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
外に出た方がいい？わかんないんだよね。どこへ行けばいいの？他にないしね。はしごある？ないよね。上に上がるしかない。ここは行ったし、ここも行ったし、グレゴリーもあったし、これ終わったよね。でガスも終わったし、ここドア開かないもんね。ここ登れない。あ、登れんのかい。登れた。ここ登れるのか。なんだ、分かんなかったよ。この人妊婦さんだからね、こんなの登ってる場合じゃないと思うんだけど。なんかついた。
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English.
ここどこ？
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
はいはい。サンジェイとどう？なんかあるよ。一回外出てみようか。
Lewis was born a year later.
怖。
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Milton.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
ない部屋だ。なんだこれ。すごい屋根裏。上手だね。
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Hmm? どうやんの？どうやんのこれ。わかんないわかんない。どうやんの？あ、そういうことか。はいはいはい。パラパラ漫画ね。
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
結局なんで消えたのか分かんなかったんだけど今。なんで消えたの？
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
ドアってこれか。これを書いたの。
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
いけない。どっから来たんだっけ？こっから来たの？
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Who got Lewis?
Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
よいしょ。やってみよう。
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
これなんかあれでしょ？水タバコ？
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery. But he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small. Imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Tokyo. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for radiant rainbows. He followed the sound of her silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. I began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him. His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him. Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
私と同じだ。あれれれ、違う違う違う。こっちか。
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
It is.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Ah, そういうこと? .みんなの子供時代の写真かな。かわいい。あ、これで終わり。The end。いやー、なんか面白かったですね。でもなんか思ってた感じの話とは違ったけど、すごくなんかストーリーが凝ってましたね。いや、ほんと不思議なお家だったフィンチ家。 こう家族のいろんな出来事あってね、それをこういろいろ辿っていくんだけど、なんか結局フィンチ、ありがとうヨハンなんだろう、トロフィーもらった。結局なんかフィンチ家のみんなは亡くなっちゃったんだ、全員で。エディスの息子がそれをまたたどりに来てるっていうので終わったってことかな。なんかこのプロデューサーかわいいね、このマイケルファ、読めないけど、これもかわいいね。サウンドデザイナースティーブ・グリーンさん。面白いか、あの人も。いやでもこれがフリープレイでできるのはすごいお得だと思うけど、いやありがたい。いや、やってよかった。でもフリープレイなかったら本当にどうしようかなって思ってたけど、買わなかったかもしんないから、いややっぱりね、フリープレイでできたのは良かったなと思いますね。ありがとうプレイステーションプラス、今月のフリープレイ楽しかったです。なんかね、でもまだ謎がすごい残ったまんまですよね。ほんとなんか奇妙な出来事ばっかりで、なんかあれみたいだよね。日本で言ったら世にも奇妙な物語みたいな、ああいうオムニバス形式のなんかドラマとかにありそうじゃない。きっとなんかこういう話ありそう。面白かった。ストーリーをリプレイするオプションが追加されました。最初からプレイするにはエリスを選択してください。だからこの全員分がこう埋まったから、いろんなとこからできんだ。はーい。というわけで、フィンチ家の奇妙な屋敷で起きたことね、終わりました。結構ね、どれくらいかな、2時間3時間3時間だから結構ゆっくりね、わかんないなって言いながらやって3時間ぐらいかな、ちょっとぐらいでクリアできたので、気になる方はね、ちょこちょこやるにも楽しいと思うんでやってみてください。はい。では配信はね、この辺で終わりにしたいと思います。見に来てくださった方ありがとうございました。ではまた次の配信でお会いいたしましょう。バイバーイ。